Hi folks, Dave Schmidt here. Hey, it's the afternoon of Saturday, June 28th, and I want to bring you a special message because it's just some of the stuff that's been coming to me, who I've been talking to, and some of the stuff that's been coming my way for the last couple of days. Well, first of all, I want to address this, and this is something that is always in the back of our minds, and it's really frustrating for all of us, including myself, because we ask that question, why the delays? Why do they just seem to be coming delay after delay? And this has been going on for a year, 2 years, for some of you 5 years, and you really wonder why. Well, once again, I'm going to come back to what is that bottom line question. Who is paying for this? Who's paying for this exchange? Who's footing the bill? Who's going to give us the money that we want to put into our bank accounts? Now, why do I bring this back up again? Because until we truly understand the full depth of that question, we don't really understand how much of what is going on out there is just truly deception, a game of deception. All the way back in September when I started this, I had clearly, since then, I've been very consistent. I've been saying there is only one place on this planet that can come up with 100, 200, 300 trillion US dollars to pay for all this dinar and this dong that we want to exchange. And that's with the Dragon family, this royal bloodline family that has been spread throughout Asia, that has been basically collecting the gold for millennia. I said that all the way going back in September and October when I started this, because I had an experience with them about 2.5 years ago that convinced me these people were real and all this gold was real. Well, when we look at the delays, the family has been very, very, very clear about one thing. They have to remove the power and the control of the cabal and what we call the master criminals. Now, I've been using the term neuter. And for months and months, I had thought it was just a matter of removing those people. Well, we're beginning to find the depth of that problem, that it's more than just removing the people. Because it's not just individuals at the top. It's a system, an organization, and a matrix in the financial world that is so corrupt that has gone much deeper. Now, what do I mean by that? I said all the way back in October that there were sting operations that were going on to basically capture or expose these people, and it did, and it went on for some months. And then I said that for the RV to happen, something else had to happen. The gold was to be used as the collateral to back up the bonds, and that was the start of the RV process. The bonds had to be cashed and put into place, and then the private transactions had to take place, and then it would come forth to the public. And back in March, I was reporting that those bonds were cashed, and they were. And when those bonds were cashed, the money was put into the Treasury. It was put into the banks, into the financial system. And that's when we began to realize it wasn't just specific individuals that we call cabal. It was a complete financial matrix that was so filled with corruption at so many different levels that money was going to have a difficult getting into our hands with it also without it also not getting into the hands of very deep corrupt and cabal people. The delays predominantly since March were because of the fact that they started skimming money out of the system because it's sitting in the banks. And once the family released the money and it was put into the banks, it was now out of their hands. And they can't really retract it back. I mean, yeah, well, maybe there might be, but for the most part, it's there. It's in the financial system and it's in the banks. When that money is sitting there, it's not that the bankers steal our money. They know how to skim money out of it through a manipulation process. And they know how to take that money sitting in banks and multiply it 2, 3, and 4 times over, that it creates billions and billions of dollars of profit for them. So every time there was a delay, they were able to make another $1 billion, so to say. Every time that they could stop this process, they were able to skim more money out of the system for themselves in a corrupt manner. And that continued to go on, and they were trying to find a way that they could stop that. Until they've now come to the point in realizing it's not individuals. It's a matrix that is so deep that they're going to have to find another way to bring this money about to us. And that's why I said what I said in my video on Tuesday night and Wednesday. They're basically, don't expect to go into the bank overnight. Now, why is that? Because I'm going to come back and say this: who's footing the bill? When you go into the bank, where did the bank get that money to pay us? And the millions of others. And the 100, 200 to 300 trillion dollars it's going to take to pay everybody. The banks don't have it. Well, there was all these China oil credits that was going on. I'm sorry, but China doesn't have oil credits, and Iraq doesn't have oil credits of 1 to 2, 300 trillion dollars. That money doesn't exist. Well, it's in the U.S. Treasury. No, because the Treasury has to get it somewhere. See, the only source of it is through, basically, the family. So until we answer that question and understand that they're the ones that are in control, they're the ones that are calling the shots, we don't really understand the full magnitude of this issue. Now, the family is taking another tack. Yes, they want to get the money to us, everyday people like you and me. They want that money. They want us going out and spending the money because it stimulates the economy. They know that we're going to be the ones who are going to give it away and help other people. And this is all about what is called the freeing of humanity. And that's what they want to do. Now, something new developed since Wednesday's radio program. I've been in touch and I've been contacted by a representative of the family, of the Dragon family. And I'm now in contact with them. I'm in contact with a gentleman who basically talks to the ambassador of the Dragon family every day. And they're in contact with me, and they basically told me, Dave, they said, your message that you sent out in that video, it was spot on, and your opinion was spot on. The family is not going to release trillions of dollars out there into the system that will only empower the cabal all the more. It will only empower the criminal system all the more. It will only empower the matrix of corruption all the more. Is there a method? Is there a game plan that they have? Oh yeah, there is. There is a game plan that they have. And it is going to unfold. But all I want to say is don't expect when the RV happens that you're going to be able to walk into the bank the next day and cash out, because they can't release that kind of money into a deep corrupt system, even though there are lots of us that are doing just fine. This is something that is not about you and me getting rich, folks. It's not about you and me getting money. This is about what they call the freeing of humanity. They look at the bigger picture about us as a human race and how we have to respond and what we have to do. So I'll be coming with some more messages about that. And I'll let you know as I can, the information I can share, as I'm going to start communicating with the representatives of the family on a regular basis. Folks, stay tuned. It's still good news. Just what I said, expect the unexpected. We're all in for a good ride, okay? Thank you very much. Love you all. Okay, bye-bye.